Now, as a jury has just returned a verdict in the trial of Caysen Allison.
Report 6 News has continued to stay on top of this. He was charged with criminally negligent homicide. I want to send this straight over to 6 News reporter Sydney Walker. She's been following this trial from the very beginning.
Yeah, Allison faces a range of 180 days to 2 years in state jail or 2 to 10 years in prison, plus a fine of up to $10,000. He had pled not guilty to these charges. The state had the burden of proof, meaning they had to prove the jury Allison was guilty instead of the defense having to prove innocence. Based on the verdict, the 12 members of the jury reached the required unanimous decision and believed that the state proved beyond reasonable doubt that Allison had acted criminally negligent, resulting in the death of an individual, Joe Ramirez. The state presented one charge of murder, but gave 3 separate theories on those means of murder. The jury did not have to agree on which method or any method at all, which from this verdict, we can see that they did not agree on that, finding him not guilty of the charge of murder. After that, the jury then had to consider self-defense. There were 2 elements to that to consider if it was self-defense, to disprove self-defense for the matter. The act was not immediately necessary and the act was not reasonable. Both elements the jury agreed with clearly. This then brought them to the charge of manslaughter, meaning he acted in a reckless mental state after. After they found Allison not guilty of this charge, they again had to consider self-defense, which they disproved again. They lastly considered criminally negligent homicide, which they found to be proven, ruling Allison was guilty. In closing argument, state said that, quote, no part of this was negligence and that Allison had acted intentionally. The defense said that this was not a case concerning murder, but instead an act done out of fear. In the end, the jury did not agree with that charge of murder or the charge of manslaughter, but agreed that Allison had acted in criminal negligence, resulting in the death of Jose Ramirez Jr. almost 3 years ago to the day in that Belton High bathroom. Allison elected for sentencing by a judge, not the jury. So that is the next step, and sentencing will take place on June 16th at 9 a.m.
So, y'all know how we do. Always pushing help, work, better understanding self, giving praises to the Most High. So, as we can see, they didn't charge him with murder. They didn't charge him with manslaughter. They charged him with negligent homicide, which he may get some probation. Now, I think that this case was way worse than Carmelo Anthony's case. He stabbed the guy several times. Okay, it wasn't. They said it was 1-on-1. Now, I want to hear some of the Carmelo Anthony haters now, because they're probably not even saying nothing about this case. I haven't. This happened earlier today. Shout out to Tania Marie who sent me this. I found out Taylor Publishing. He put it out. I want to hear what the haters gotta say with the Carmelo case. We can put these cases side by side to say somebody stabbed somebody several times and it's no outrage. Nobody saying anything. But yet when Carmelo Anthony pleaded his self-defense, which I think is he only hit him one time and then he ran. They're trying to make up all of these scenarios to make this brother seem like he is guilty of the higher charge. Which, if anybody, this makes me believe that Carmelo Anthony beats this case because you didn't even charge this guy with manslaughter. So I think it's to your discernment what you feel that is a threat to you. We can't base that off of, we can't judge anybody else or have other people that wasn't there that's not Carmelo explaining why they feel that, he didn't feel that his life was in danger when 2 people came up to him. So this is definitely good news for Carmelo Anthony. It's bad news for all of the race baiters that's on the white conservative side. I want to see how they cover this case. Tatum, I'm looking for you big. I would go off, but I'm looking for what you got to say about this. Because you said that this guy was guilty of the same thing. And look what happens. So this is either going to show white privilege or show that the justice system is broken and it's a two-tier justice system, what I preach on my channel. So I will be covering this case again because I want to hear what these bozos got to say about this. Most of them are just gassing up a white conservative audience to make them feel good and get subscribers and get them to donate money. That's all what they do it for. But now I want to hear how y'all cover this story. So I will be tapping back on this, but he was charged with a lesser crime. I think he may just get probation, minimal time. He got the complexion for the protection, but we don't see the same accountability that they holding this kid with. It's a bigger outrage for Karmelo Anthony. So let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace and love.
You are totally dependent on other people to take care of your needs because you don't have those roots sunk into the ground. To have a community, you must have three things to have a community in it. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can provide goods, service, products, and things for your own people, and jobs and tax spaces for your own people. You should at least control four basic things. You should be trying to control water, food, medicine, and energy to be able to survive.
Here we got Mr. Pollock. He had a cornfield. He took advantage of a free water test from us, and this is what we found in this water. We found sulfur, we found hardness, and we solved these problems with an easy fix of 2 tanks. So get your free water test today. Stay blessed. Click the link below.